Hey y'all, I have led hundreds of webinars, virtual workshops, sessions for clients all around the world just in the last year. Tens of thousands of people. I've learned lots of ways to not lead a webinar well. In this video, I'm going to answer a frequently asked question, which is how to present a webinar without using PowerPoint slides. And in all of the hundreds of presentations that I just described, this is the amount of PowerPoint slides that I've used across any presentations at all. And so in this video, there are a couple ways that I've done that to you make those webinars and workshops really engaging even without that visual element. And so in this video, I'm gonna share my #1 tool or tip to lead really engaging virtual workshops or webinars by using 0 PowerPoint slides, which in theory, by the end of this video, will actually save you a lot of time because you won't have to prep a PowerPoint slide. It actually takes a lot of time, right, to move these pixels around and get the font right and the text and the whatever. And so if you can just ditch that, you can save yourself quite a mountain of time. No fluff, the second this video intro is done, I'm gonna share this idea with you and we're gonna unpack it together. Let's get into it. So here it is, in lieu of PowerPoint slides, because you want to have visuals, right? The brain is wired to take visual and experiential data and log it into long-term memory. You do not want to only speak in a webinar. You don't want to only have video, you want to have visuals. And so the tip and the tool that I use in high stakes presentations, meaning for me, high stakes means there's going to be a lot of people there and they're going to be deciding whether this was valuable or not, etc. I spend the time to design and lay out an analog agenda. And that's what we're going to unpack. This idea of creating an analog agenda. What do I mean by that? A PowerPoint, PowerPoint in general is actually software created by a company called Microsoft that holds information in a small box. And you can put text in it, and you can animate things, and you can, right? But it's fundamentally designed in this linear fashion to go from rectangle to rectangle to rectangle. What I do is lay out a bunch of objects or images or questions in analog format. So I've got a bunch of objects laid around my desk that mean something to my agenda. So let me to make this concrete, let me just give you an example off the cuff. I literally grabbed 3 objects that were laying around the space. Just live in the moment, I'm gonna share how I would visually use them to help frame up the context and purpose of my webinar or virtual workshop, as opposed to a slide that says, today's purpose is in language, because the brain is actually wired to take that language and encode it into short-term memory and then let it leave. So what I might do is hold this up and say, hey, to help frame our time today and get our context all together, I would love for all the breakouts that we're gonna do today or all the conversation that we're gonna have or everything that you type in the chat to be maximally authentic. And what I mean by that is like, this might be a heart, but this is a fake heart. This is a real heart, right? This is a little bit more authentic. And so I would love the things that you share and say in this webinar, be they in the chat, whether they're your questions or things you share in breakouts, etc. I would love for them to be true, right? I would love for them to for you to not feel like you have to put on some fake mask to be some sort of way. I'd love for you to just speak as if you're telling the truth. It's by far the best way to create a conversation that matters is to shift from this element over to this element. And so that's my ask, but what's our purpose and what's our intention? For the last year, we've been socially distancing from other people. And so our intention here is to be connected to one another. Our intention is to, for me, is whether it's in the chat or in a breakout room, for you to connect with one other person on this call who you previously haven't met and to learn something valuable from them. So you see how I just used, in kind of a quick way, 3 objects. And this was live off the cuff, didn't do a lot of prep for that. Probably could be a little bit more coherent, but just use 3 objects to help prep and kind of frame up and get this party started. So for you, for your content, what that might look like is if you've got 7 main points you're gonna be sharing, you might share an image or an object and just literally go on a scavenger hunt around your house to find the stuff. You don't need to like go on Amazon and buy 7 things. Find 7 objects that somehow relate or represent the main points or main ideas that you're talking about. And believe it or not, people's brains will actually be more likely to remember all 7 of those things than if you put them one at a time on PowerPoint slides and then showed a review slide of all 7 of them at the end. Your review at the end, in 90 seconds if you wanted to be, could be boom, 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 right? And you can just go through those 7 items. Now for me, I've got this deck of cards that I use called We Connect cards that has questions on one side, and this other deck called We Engage cards that has pictures and quotes. And so it's a really great tool to insert visuals if you don't have a bunch of random stuff lying around your house. This deck in particular is an amazing way to help frame up where you're going with both quotes and images. And so if you want to pick up a free digital version of that, there's a link in the description. If you want this actual thing mailed to your house, there's also a link for that. That costs, I think, what's it called? Money. Yes, it does cost things, but if that would be a valuable tool and would help increase connection and engagement in your own context, would love to have the chance to send them your way. And if you want to find props just around your house, you can go to yourownfreakinghouse.com, which also means leave the computer, go grab some objects that you think will help people sing. A lot of times when I'm facilitating a workshop, to coach people into doing this, if I'm leading a workshop on how to make virtual engagement easy, I will actually have people pause, leave Zoom, leave whatever platform we're on, go grab an object that represents a story that they really love to tell that they think makes a really salient point related to their work, and bring it back to the screen and hold it up. And it's amazing what people grab. It's amazing what meaning we attach to visual objects. And if you have meaning for that object, and you attach meaning to that object, your audience will then have meaning for that object. And it's a really wonderful memory cue, because what happens is when they see that object out in the real world, they'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that video that Chad did with that heart and the real heart and the fake. I don't remember exactly what was happening there, but it's this cue or callback to that learning, which is, depending on why you're doing a webinar, could be a really brilliant tool to have up your sleeve. I'm Chad Littlefield. Have an awesome day.